Here's what I believe your position is. I got in a relationship with this girl and quickly discovered that she is a product of an incredibly dysfunctional history. And as a result, my job as a fiance and her future husband and the father of our child is to protect her from all of these people that have exploited her and put her in harm's way and used her and abused her. And so, by God, I'm going to stand in the gap and protect her, and that's my job, and that's all I'm trying to do, and if you want to criticize me for it, then go ahead. Is that kind of your position?
Yes.
How am I doing?
Good. You know, and
do I get it? Did I do my homework?
And, you know, and the thing about it is, you know, I've just waited for something, you know, for her to stand up for something other than to protect and enable, you know, these destructive people and to...
Right. Well, we're going to talk about that with her in just a minute, but...
This control thing is two ways, man, and...
Yeah, well, we're going to talk about that. Lawrence says he did write a 15-page letter airing his grievances about his future father-in-law, Doug. We're going to find out what the letter says and why it pushed Tiffany over the edge. We'll come back.
I wrote a letter to her grandma without Tiffany knowing, to let the family know what her father has been doing, who he is, how he has been hurting Tiffany. It was time for people to know what is going on in their lives.
And later...
Every move I make is wrong. Everything I say is wrong.
You are allowing this man to dictate your life to you.
I want him to stop. I want to be able to breathe.
Lawrence wants her family completely out of her life. We've had a few arguments before. I've come close many times to jump in my truck, drive down there, and put a good beating on him.
Well, that was Doug talking about his frustration with the way his future son-in-law treats his daughter. Now, Lawrence says he is determined to show Tiffany's family that he is right about not wanting Tiffany to be around certain people in her life. He wants to keep her away from those he thinks have and will hurt her. So he spent about a month writing a 15-page letter about how Doug manipulates and controls his daughter. Take a look.
Tiffany's not saying anything, doing anything to fix our lives. I wrote a letter to her grandma without Tiffany knowing, to let the family know what her father has been doing, who he is, how he has been hurting Tiffany. It was time for people to know what is going on in their lives. It was time for me and Tiffany to move forward without running from everything that she does not want people to know. It was 15 pages long, and it was brutal, and it was the truth. I'm writing you about Doug and his control, manipulation, and ego that is destroying the people around him, mainly Tiffany and I. It is becoming crystal clear that Doug is a sick and desperate man, desperate to regain his power and place within Debbie's family that he lost because of some issues in his life. It is also clear that we are not allowed to move forward in our life without him standing in our way and his ego being in control. It was so disturbing and sickening to see how manipulated and controlled by her father she really was. I put it on my dead son's soul that everything I said was the truth. I can no longer continue to enable horrible people my wife enables out of anxiety, out of misplaced loyalty. That's what it comes down to. It's misplaced loyalty.
Okay, so that's the letter. Those are excerpts from the letter. I have the 15-page handwritten, margin-to-margin, top-to-bottom letter here. And it's obvious that you put a lot of thought into this.
Yes, sir.
If I read this right, the upshoot here is all of you family members need to understand that Doug is one sick guy.
You know,
and that he is manipulative and controlling and is going to hurt her, and you wanted them to know that. Now, Liz is the one that